So, in this video, I'm gonna talk about unconscious beliefs. I made again like a short video about this, a short TikTok, whatever you name it, and I want to go a bit more in depth because your unconscious beliefs, they dictate your quality of your life and your actions. And to be aware of this and to recognize those things, it's very helpful. It was helpful to me and it changed my life like in a lot of different aspects. And I just want to go through three unconscious beliefs, like for girls and for men. And I made some, how do you say, notes to remind myself. And for example, the first one is for men, that we often have an unconscious belief of I have to impress people to be respected. And this can you can be doing by being always the smartest, being always the strongest, being the loudest, whatever it is that you told yourself. Even it's maybe that you're always quiet, and that is like, no, I don't think this is a good example, but it's like the thing, like you always want to be like big, you know, to be respected, and people need to know like that you are the guy who needs to be respected. And yeah, this for me also was like a long time a thing, and I think still it's a bit of a thing. I think this is just a guy thing, and but it's good to know from yourself, like what is your trap. Like, do you always want to be like the smartest? Do you always want to be like the strongest? Do you always want to be like the hardest worker in the room? And again, it's not like either it's bad or good, but it's like you have to be, if you start to be conscious about it, maybe you find out that it's actually really draining, because on the other side of it is always like we also have like a vulnerable part. And a lot of guys, we are not good in seeing this. So yeah, it can also result like when you're dating, you try to always impress this other person, that you're like, yeah, look at me, how crazy the things I achieve, like I have this company, blah 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 blah. And yeah, this is like a very common unconscious belief for men. And for girls, it is like I have to be attractive to be worthy. And for me, I cannot really speak from experience, but it's like I can imagine this for girls, because it's like girls from a young age, you play with Barbies and stuff, and it's just be told like you need to be like pretty. And for a guy, this is less important. It's more important to be strong. And whatever it is, like it's good to take care of yourself, but it's bad when it starts to get out of proportion, and for women, if you just become like your aesthetic or how you look, and it's just your whole personality or character is based on this. And if this is like unconscious within yourself, then you're constantly busy with making yourself more pretty, or for a guy, making yourself more stronger. Because if it's unconscious, you will do it constantly, and you will actually never reach it, because there's always a next version of yourself, or someone else who's stronger, or another lady who's more pretty. So it's like you are running after it, but you are never gonna get it. So that's why it's so important to just to find out these beliefs about yourself. Okay, another one I talk in the short videos, like if I show who I really am, I will get rejected. And this is one even maybe more deeper, because this is really about who you are and who you want to be in this world. And for example, if you're from a young age, you are expressing yourself, and it's constantly being told like, if you express yourself, you are annoying, or if you express yourself, it's not okay. Then you start to believe like that you are the problem just by you being you. And this is, for me, is the most painful and the worst one, because the thing I feel like the most important is for a kid is to be able to express themselves. And of course you have to give the kid like discipline, but it must be able to express themselves, like do crazy stuff, and not always try to be like okay, stay normal, this and that. Because then the character and personality can develop in a way which is like complete. And also like when you grow older and you have and it's always like they were very strict, like you cannot go anywhere outside of this box in terms of like behavior, then you maybe think like you always too much or something. And I feel like this is being done, especially from the culture where I'm from and the place where I'm from. It's being done a lot. For example, I live now in Spain. I see a big difference. For example, already here within the children, like they go around, they shout, they scream, they're crazy, and people they don't really care. But in Holland, there's a really, I don't know if this in Holland, but the whole more Western countries, maybe also Germany, there's really strong idea of boundaries and a package of like normal, that really everyone wants you to be as normal as possible. And therefore, like if you are a kid who's maybe who's a bit weird or like special, you get often suppressed in being who you are. And I'm not saying, because you have to be normal to a certain degree to navigate through life, but it can become like too much. So yeah, I think this was it. Like I can talk more about this, but the most important thing is like become aware of this unconscious beliefs, because if it's beliefs that they are not true, or that they are like just from your childhood, and they are not contributing to a life you want to live, then they can really hold you back. And I think like everyone is always like finding their way in this. For example, I feel like I'm always like exploring this, because for me it's very important. And I feel like more people should be aware of this, and more people should be busy with this, because for example, if you yeah, it can just, I think if you work on this, you start working on your life the other way around, because otherwise you always need some outcome to make you happy, for example. But if you can work on your belief system, then you are gonna need much less to be happy, I believe. So that's it. And yeah, I'm gonna make tomorrow another video and let's see what it's about. Ciao.